Chapter 19 of Kidnap on the California Comet by M.G. Leonard and Sam Sedgman. Scouting for secrets. As he crept along the corridor into the Silver Scout, Hal's shallow breaths and booming heartbeat screamed to his brain that this was a stupid idea. He pushed open the first door, an empty roomette with seats of white leather. August Razor had called it the staff bedroom. He guessed it was where Woody slept. There was a noise behind him. Hal opened his mouth to yell, then saw Mason's bulging eyes peeping around the corner. "What are you doing?" Hal mouthed. "Can't let you do this on your own," Mason whispered. "Hadley's by the door. We'll yell like crazy if we see anyone. She'll run and get help." Hal nodded, immediately feeling better with Mason beside him. He slid open the door to Marianne's room and gasped. Drawers and cupboards were open. Clothes and books were strewn everywhere. The pots of pens she'd arranged so carefully were now lying empty on the bed, their contents scattered across the mattress. The pink flamingo duvet was balled up on the floor. Right, if I pan out a bit, look, you can see the mess in the bedroom. Mason leapt forwards with his fist raised. "There's no one here." "Look at this mess," Hal said. "This place has been ransacked." Mason raised an eyebrow. "You should see my bedroom." "Marianne would freak out if she saw her room like this." Hal thought about how she had reacted when he had knocked over her pens. Had that only been yesterday morning? "Come on." Mason waved him on, and they tiptoed down the corridor side by side. They passed an empty kitchen, and Mason poked his head round the doorway to the meeting room. "Whoa! What is it?" "This place is classy." Hal shoved him through the room. "Don't touch anything," he hissed. "We don't want to get into trouble. Come on, this way." He crept into the viewing lounge. "There's no one here," he said with a mixture of relief and disappointment. "Wait, check upstairs." Mason disappeared up the stairs to Razor's bedroom and a minute later poked his head back down. Nada, zip, nothing, zilch. "Did you check the bathroom?" "Yup." Hal's shoulders, which had been up by his ears, dropped, and he had to admit to himself that he was wrong again. Nobody was using the Silver Scout as a hideout. "Okay, I'll go and get Hadley." Hal sped back through the carriage to where Hadley was waiting, looking terrified. "It's okay," he said. "There's no one here." "Let's go then," Hadley said, beckoning him to come. "People are getting back on the train. Where's Mason?" They heard a whistle, signalling the train was ready to leave. "Let's ride to Granby in the Silver Scout." "Hal!" Hadley looked scandalised. "We need to search for clues. Marianne's bedroom has been turned over and I want to draw it." "Her bedroom's been turned over?" "Sis, get in!" Mason called over Hal's shoulder. "You can look for your Houdini hoodie." "Good idea." Hadley scrambled into the Silver Scout, joining Hal and her brother. Hal closed the door and they all felt the carriage shift as they pulled out of Fraser Station. The three of them looked at each other, electrified by the sensation of doing something forbidden. "We're here to help Marianne," Hal said, more to reassure himself than the Morettis. "We're looking for clues." "And my hoodie," Hadley added. "Come on then, Sherlock da Vinci," said Mason. "What should we do first?" "Split up. Mason, you search the upstairs bedroom. Hadley, you take the viewing lounge and meeting room. Look for anything that seems out of place. I'm going to draw Marianne's bedroom." He looked at Hadley. "When I've finished, you can hunt for your hoodie." "I can't believe this place doesn't have a TV," Mason said. "It does," Hal replied. "Go into the meeting room and say, 'Screen on.'" He watched Mason walk away and waited. "No way! Hadley, come and check out the size of this thing," Mason called out. "It's bigger than that one in Atlantic City." Hal grinned as Hadley ran to see. Taking out his sketchbook, he sank to the floor in the doorway of Marianne's bedroom. Her window framed views of distant ski chalets and close-up tufts of mountain grass wearing cloaks of snow. Trying not to think too hard, Hal drew what he could see in the ransacked bedroom. He thought about the negative space in his picture, the parts he was leaving blank. He tried to notice not only what was in front of him, but also what he wasn't seeing. What should be here and isn't, he asked himself as he drew. Once he'd finished, he called to Hadley. You can look for your hoodie now, but try to leave everything as you find it. I found this, Hadley said, holding out a shiny black cylinder. It was on the floor underneath the table in the meeting room. What is it? Hal took the smooth object and, seeing a crack around the middle, he pulled it apart. It's a lipstick. Hal twisted the bottom and a tube of fuchsia pink emerged from the case. Good find. Marianne and August Razor don't wear lipstick. This doesn't belong in the Silver Scout. That's what I thought, Hadley beamed. Do you think it could be a clue? Hal stared at it. It could be. He put it into his pocket. I'll see if Mason's found anything. Wow, Hadley said, stepping into Marianne's room. Someone's done a number on this place. I know, Hal muttered as he walked away. Stepping up into the viewing lounge, he gazed out of the panoramic window into the wide expanse of Middle Park Valley, dotted with grazing cattle and blobs of snow. He felt a flash of guilt, thinking of Uncle Nat on his own, looking at this view from the sightseer lounge. Hal, Mason called, check this out. August Razor's bedroom was still clinically tidy. Mason was lying on his back on the floor, his head under the desk. What are you doing? Hal asked. Come look. Mason waved at him. Hal crouched down and peered under the desk. This is where the hard drive for the computer should be. Mason pointed at a large silver box. The back had been prized off and he was pointing at a rectangular hole. I tried to turn the computer on. Nothing happened. I looked and the hard drive's gone. Maybe August Razor took it with him. Maybe, Mason wriggled out, although it's kind of a weird thing to do. Hadley poked her head up the stairwell. The hoodie's not in Marianne's room. She came up and sat heavily on the sofa with a sigh. I guess it's gone forever. She pulled a sulky face, but then frowned. Do you know what's creepy, though? Her wardrobe's full of clothes, but her top drawer is empty. It's like someone came and just took her underwear. That's weird. Hal stepped over Mason's legs, standing on Razor's bed to look out through the domed roof. The Comet's 8 carriages were snaking their way along the line in front of him. I noticed something else is missing from Marianne's room, he said. Yesterday, Marianne showed me her drawings. The drawing board and the pages she showed me are gone. Maybe her dad took the drawings, Hadley said, for sentimental reasons. But why would he take the drawing board? Who would want to steal Marianne's underwear or her drawings? Mason asked. It's not like they're worth money. Now, the hard drive of August Razor's computer, I'll bet that's worth money. If Marianne hadn't been kidnapped, Hal said, thinking out loud, then everyone would still be here in the Silver Scout, right? Hadley nodded. It's empty because August Razor left the train in Omaha. What if that's why she was kidnapped? As a decoy. You said yourself Sakona wouldn't care about $10 million, but they might care about getting their hands on the designs for August Razor's new solar battery. You think they were on this computer? Hadley asked. I've got it. Mason rose onto his knees. Let's pretend I'm the kidnapper. He looked at Hal. I know you think it was a woman, but say it was a man. I grab Marianne, shove her in the trunk of the Chevy, and drive around the corner where I move her to a second car, a getaway car. I change out of the black and into normal clothes, chuck the kidnapper outfit into the getaway car, which then gets away. I walk back to the train and climb aboard. Later that night, I break into this carriage and steal the hard drive. When the train gets to Denver, I meet my Zakona contact and hand over the hard drive in a box, and they pay me with an envelope full of cash. He looked from Hadley to Hal. Because if that's how it was done, we know exactly who that someone is, don't we?